Okay. Oops, wrong button. All right, first off, sorry, since you're here at least right now, mic should sound a lot clearer. I'm guessing. I'm hoping. I did the recordings and stuff. It did sound a lot better. I've tried checking that before music. I also changed my setup a little bit more, so. Okay, good. All right, cool. I changed my setup a little bit more, so actually I can probably get a lot closer to the mic too now. So I used to have an arm for it, but I don't. I used to have an arm that came around, but I don't have that set up anymore because I don't live in that place anymore. So let's post this and all right. Let me know if there's a way to balance out the audio. Normally I had music louder because of background noise, but now I can actually balance it correctly if I need to. So if one or the other can be louder, let me know. So I still got stuff to do in here. Actually, this is I really don't have that much more to do though. Like, oh, for a week it's quite a bit, but okay. It's more of the balance I want, as long as it's not overly quiet on both ends, because you can just let it go and people can change their volume themselves then. But yeah, oh, hi Rainbow. Like, you can take any point of anything and just stop it and grab some kind of a stupid face off of it. Texture quality. But no, I did work on this over the weekend a bit. I kind of did a similar thing where I did Saturday was mostly thinking Sunday was actually working on it, and then I worked on it actually quite a bit today still too. So I was mainly putting together the next shot because like this shot's super action based, and I started doing the next shot as action based and it didn't work. It felt too fast paced, too much was going on. So I changed it so that I slowed it down a bit. So I ended up having this for now. It's something simple, but it actually took quite a while to do. Mainly make her outfit, but I wanted some iconic shots, and so that one worked out pretty well for that. And then yeah, they're trying to do a surrounded look, but yeah, I think just it's super cheap. It was just made to put something together quick. Because the leg pieces look horrible, but I didn't care because you can't actually see them. So, but that's supposed to be because she's supposed to be wearing leather armor a lot in a hoodie. So I just tried that out as a way to put it together. And I still had to make some kind of a pants for her though. But that's actually the armor from oh, it's not gonna work because the bump maps are gone. But the future timeline guys. This is actually part of the story. Kind of. This is supposed to be the same alleyway. So that was the point of it. Oh, except for there's no actual light here. I probably will need. Well, you know what? I probably don't need it. Who's gonna care? But it's supposed to be somewhat continuous. And I have already done most of the lighting. It just doesn't run very well like that. So I still have to do some of the stuff in here. But I did some of the background. I think I had to light her eyes. I haven't done that yet, actually. and I haven't lit the creatures yet, but there's that one. There's a lot going on in this shot, so it's difficult. I probably have to light her up a little different, and then that shot too. So, and I'm still kind of working on some of the cleanup animation for them because they're not fully done. I did actually add in. It's hard to see too, but there's the speed lines. I try to make it subtle. It's a lot easier to see when the lights are on. I have to do a render to see if it actually works or not, though. What I was thinking about doing was because, like, at this point, the camera slows down, but it still causes a blur because with the motion blur. Not much, though. No, they're not bullets. There's no guns at this part. But it still causes a slight blur, but I have to see whether or not that's okay in post. If it's not, if it doesn't work having that, I'm thinking about rendering it twice. Once with motion blur, once without, and keyframing between them to actually have the parts that I don't want blur to be keyframed out as being clear, and then use the ones with blur for otherwise. But so this is what I've been working on right now. So I just said for Rainbow, I just stole animation from something else I've done, and have her just slide in, and then just had an animator turning around. Gold Petals is tailing Pip's pose from Heroes Arise for the most part. Just some extra added to it, but she doesn't blink there. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, maybe I should. I wanted to go right at this last night because I had most of the animating done to what it is right now, but I forgot, I forgot to change it from a single scene, and it only did one part. Okay. So I don't really care about her eyes in that part, but I do care this part. Definite stoner. But it's just the lit parts. It's so hard to judge how everything looks until I get it rendered to check. So it's like I've been doing some of the stuff I know, but getting her animation cleaned up and whatever. But beyond that, it's still some of the lighting and stuff. I don't know what that's going to be until later. I had to play with this a little bit. Like there's the skybox I couldn't get around all the way, so there's a second one that's there, but that's fine because it's only for that part right there, and for the most part when the lights are on and the motion blur kicks in, you can barely tell. But doing a 360 shot is interesting, because that's what the sky actually is broken up by the buildings. I brought up before how you can use you can use a skybox if you can at least cause some kind of a breakup with it, and that's what I did. Except for this is like taking up the whole area. I had difficulty trying to get everything spaced out right. Like the skybox here was difficult because I had to get it. Actually, I could probably move that back further, but getting everything positioned right. Ugh. And the buildings are, as I have them right now, are really intensive because there's a lot of models involved with putting this together. So I just used these cheap houses for the upside down for the other walls and just colored them red a little bit. But it's fine because it only needs to be for these little extra bits in the background. But I do need to find some kind of pants for her. I mean, I don't even like the armor that much, but with the lights on, I feel like it actually looks pretty good. It's just it looks like crap outside of that. So, but I do need to get some kind of bottom side for it. But yeah, this is what I was working on now. So I was trying to, I think the last thing I was doing was trying to give her a little life right at the beginning here, because right now it's actually, and I don't even know if her being stoic like that's just going to be fine. What if I should add a wind effect here? I don't think so. I think it's going to be adding a wind effect just to specific parts, but in general, it's going to be just based on motion. So I'm going to stick with just what the parts that I know. So I made this landing animation for something else a while ago, and I ended up using it so far. I think it's the third situation I've used it in. Okay, so the tail goes back like that, and now I have to have it swing back the other way. I've had this program open forever too. This was the time on their 33,000. Is it gonna look fine like that? Yeah, well, okay. I was thinking about going partial slow-mo with this, but I think I'm gonna keep it close to normal speed, or at least slow it down, but kind of. Okay, first this tail part should go that way. I forgot this is an override. I had to do something before. Should probably fix this and smooth it then. Override's dangerous. Useful, but dangerous. And there it is. Well, the thing is my thought is anyway that armor is usually going to be for chest and body and shoulders and whatever. But if you see somebody wearing armor, are they wearing leather armor? Are they wearing full leather pants? No, usually there's some kind of fabric or something because that's going to be more comfortable. But when it comes down to the look of a texture, the main thing is just getting it to cover the right areas. The texture can be modified any way you want. That's what this technically was. So. Okay, so this kind of work, I just have to turn this. Alright, she needs some kind of life in her face here, too. Actually, I don't think I have anything on her mouth right now. Nope. Just a little bit here, but I think that was in there already. I'm just throwing things out here to see what works. I think that'll work, but I have to move it earlier. I still want her to have the mouth closed for the most part. Actually, I don't even... Maybe that won't work. Freaking jiggles. Maybe just a little bit of angry in there. Worse. What facial expression do I want her to have here with her mouth, though? I don't want her to be angry. Actually, that's not bad. I found the best way to make the mouse feel good is to, well, feel good. It's not right when I said that. Make them feel realistic is to take the jaw and twist it, or make them, what do they call it, uneven? Oh, Scope, I just finally read Hiatus too, and that was super sad and really cool though. It's kind of interesting because I've been just working with her, and now so I read the bit about her, and it was kind of interesting. Oh, really? Oh, you found it through there, I'm guessing? But I thought Hiatus was fairly new. How long did it take you to read through that story? Okay, I still need to... Yeah, I didn't even know about it for a while. When did he write that though? Because I didn't even check the date. Wait, did you start? Are you saying all the way through Yutan, or to get to? Because that's a super long book. It is one that's hard to put down once you start it, though. Okay, that's motion's not actually showing, so I'm gonna position it differently. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a long book. Okay, that does add a little bit of help to her motion. But I want her to put her head up, because now I can... Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put the eyes a little higher right afterwards. That's gonna work. I just want to have the eyes have a little bit of motion afterwards, but putting them down doesn't work, so I'll probably just keep it as it is. That's crazy, because it's like 3.5 million words. I can't remember what the record was in the chats for reading it. I've heard some people read it pretty damn quick. Thing is, that's kind of there's like times where sometimes I wish I could read, like I'll be waiting at a lobby somewhere, but I don't like reading it in like at a lobby because it feels like I'm not paying attention. I'm not going to actually enjoy it. It's just going to be text flowing through my head, but not actually being you're not going to soak it in. I want to be able to remember as much as I can about things. I probably need to... I'm probably going to have to move her eyes a little bit. This eye's a little bit off to the side too much. Yeah, there was quite a few of those moments there. Yeah, I did that with marathoning. I think Past Sins. I have even the printed copy over there because that was one of the. I think that was the second fic I ever read, and the one before that was super short. And I ended up getting home from work at like 4:30 or something the one day, and then I ended up reading from 4:30 till 4 in the morning. I read 12 hours straight. I ended up getting just a couple hours sleep because I just wanted to finish it. It was so good. Okay, let's see if we can fix her eyes a little bit. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. I think that's originally how it was, but then I added some kind of motion to it. Like even here, I want to see how this looks. Should I? No, the whites of the eyes actually kind of add to it, I think. I do want to light her eyes a little bit more here. Past Tenses is longer. It's old. I mean, that's like season 1, 2. I can't remember. That's an old one. But I liked it. It was really well done. Alright, I'm going to grab her highlight. I'm not worried about putting in too much for the eyes because I want to add the actual lights in the side, the actual pupil. So I'm just trying to get something to balance them out a little bit. It's just weird when you do these. It's like somebody wearing a GoPro. So make sure it's not too bright. And it's too bright. Yeah, that should be fine. So I want to do it where blue is the color, because blue is usually with night. I want to have that be the main color in the eye, and then use gold for any of the extra shine light that might be needed because of the light there. So the goal here is to have her be in focus here, but I'm going to have to probably play with the lights. But the only thing that I think is really too dark in this one is her eyes, and I think that you could pretty easily buff that up. Yeah, I forgot what I'm going to do here. That's just, I think, one I threw in the background. Yeah. Oh, I could give you a list of stuff, some of my favorites. I have to read some of SSE's other stuff, but I really want to read the next chapter because I just caught up fully with the current book too. But no, Dangerous Business is pretty good. I never read the sequel, but I read but that one was pretty good. Bluebird Song was good. Discord's Keeper of Discord was really good. Que Sera Sera, I think that was what that one said. That one is good. I'd have to go through my list with how long it was. There's a Changeling one that I really liked too. Full in the Forest was good, though that one is long. That's like 1.5 million words, I think, but that one's worth reading. What was the name of the Changeling one? For the Hive? No, it wasn't for the Hive. I can't remember. It started out as just following one person, and then the second book went and followed a completely different person. The second book was the best out of the series, though. I think I'm at least going to lock a light to the eyes to use here, because I kind of want to see if that would be what would correct some of the lighting issues, I think. I'll call this your right eye. Yeah, there's a Dangerous Business, I'm pretty sure, had a second book. The first one follows, is it Applejack, is Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash, I believe. And then the next one, and it kind of hints that the others have a portion of the story too. And I believe there was a second book that came out that covered the other three. But I mean, that was a good book. It did have its weird points that I think that kind of looked over. But when it comes to fics and stuff, I normally am pretty lenient, because it's like they're writing it for fun. I'm not going to expect them to suddenly start pounding out like the greatest of all writing. So okay, I'm gonna try going back to what I normally do. Try to hover on this side of the eye because it shapes the light based on the angle, a little easier to work with. Last couple I haven't done that with, and it kind of made it an ass to deal with. Okay. Should blue be the color? Or would gold work better? It's gold, it really has to be gold. I have a feeling that, being that it's on this side of it, I'm thinking that it would need to be blue. But sometimes it's not about being realistic. Use more yellow. There, now I can actually see the color. Or I can dumb it down to be a little bit of both. Yeah, it looks weird with that. I'm thinking the blue is going to be what's needed. It's going to have to be like a whitish blue. Because the whites of her eyes aren't blue, so it wouldn't make any sense otherwise. But even then, I still feel like the lights over here, it's impacting her in a way. Yeah, if I dim it down, sometimes it's just like the balance of not having one eye be, or one eye is, one eye isn't, feels weird. So I have to like cover it up and see, like, without that, my brain doesn't try to isn't confused. So I think that actually does work for color. I just have to bring down the brightness. I'll keep it there for now. Do the other one. Yeah, if you're doing it after a straight out, that's going to take a while. But that's, if I had to choose which ones to read, you're on the right track. I don't think the other light was zoomed in all the way. No, but you know what? It worked fine, so we'll just keep it that way. think this one's going to have to be turned in a little bit more. This eye's a little more difficult to do just because of how the structure of the pupil is. We'll try going on the outside. Okay, I think I might have to add some radius to it because it's hitting that top bit. And a radius usually smooths that out. Usually too much though, I guess. Check that out. Once I caught up, it was actually kind of nice because I was like, hey, I can read other stuff now. And then you go back to it and you're like, hey, there's 200 more chapters to read. It's like, yeah, I'm okay with it. Probably want to. Let's see, this one lit up the top, and then by doing the change that I did for radius, I actually got rid of something else. So I'm going to try to take that off again. Because if it is no radius, I have full control of it, so I can place it closer to these edges. Problem with doing that, though, is these lights get really sensitive, like when the eyes start moving. But I don't want to hit the whites of the eye because that gets awkward. See, it's going to hit that up there, and I can't really light that apparently. I do want to light that a little bit though. I guess usually I used to do 2 of these though. That makes sense, I guess. Where am I for position? That's fine. Maybe it will work better the other way. Highlights are annoying. They just add so much. Yeah, it's not going to work. What kind of? If I were to lighten the whites of the eyes, maybe, but I don't want to make that. That'd be weird. Why is this so zoomed in or something now? Even after all this, I have to move it every time this eye moves. Yeah, so it's still bright up there. So you got lucky. I caught up with Yutang, I think, like within a week of it or whatever. I had a long hiatus, but it was also, it's fine because I have so much other stuff to read. Sometimes having daily updates means that I had to put other stuff that I wanted to read on hold. I used to read a lot more, but I've been slowing down a bit, especially like to work on this and when big projects start coming up with deadlines. We'll find the right spot eventually. I think it might be right about here. See, it's like hitting up here, but not down here. I'm being picky. Because it works good over here on this part of the eye. I might just have to do that. It just can make her look kind of depressed or sad or something when it's hitting just those edges. It's like, it feels to me if it's in the left side of this eye, it should hit the left side of this eye. But this is probably going to be way too much in that part of the eye now. Okay, we're going to instead, we're going to turn, she's looking right at the light. So I'm going to assume that it's just going to hit all of it. So I'm going to put it right here and just dim it down. I'll just use that part as the brightness factor. Just really feels weird not lighting up the rest of it. See if I can get both. A little bit. It just feels to me like this is the eye that I need to have brightened up the most. There is a way to darken the pupils, but it gets messy for any shot not involved with this one then. We'll do that, and then we'll take ambience, bump it up a little bit. The harsh shadows I'm trying to utilize are the ones underneath her. But like here, I want to make sure that her mouth is identifiable. Everything's identifiable, really. So I'll keep it like that. And these are locked correctly, yes. So now to watch them get destroyed. Okay, so she goes to lift her eyes here. So from here to here. Let's see from here to there. Okay, so that's where it is now, so I have to move it to that position. Oops. Just the right eye. Okay, actually that looks like it'd be pretty good. Okay. Basically look at it and say, where is this going? If I was going that direction, where should I be? Okay, that should work. It also means the intensity needs to be dropped a little bit here, because there shouldn't be that much reflection in the eyes when their eyes are closed. It gets brighter as their eyes open. Okay. Her eyes, I don't have to worry about the right one, but I do have to, the left one. I just need to worry about her right eye. So this was really quick. Now see, for this now, I'm gonna get the positions right, but the main thing is now it's probably gonna have to be gold. So I'm just gonna worry about the main positions right now. Is that a wing I have in the way? Yeah. there for now and see what happens. With this one, I probably actually, because she's looking right at this light, I probably want to bring that, her normal eye light up to kind of a yellow too. Even doing anything at this point? Yeah, it is. It's just very minor. What light is hitting her head? I need to figure out what's causing that bright area. Because that's... I don't think I have any light over there. Oh, I should say this. Name that right. Okay, so that shows me that something else is hitting her. That's... I'm thinking it might be one of these building lights. There it is. I thought it was that one. Okay, fix that. It's for this building right here, so that it has that rim. But that means, well, I can't use cutoff because it's not going to work that way. Not that one. Probably should restart this software soon. I think I've had it running since noon. So my main thing I need to make sure of is that I'm not interfering with this at all. Oh, it's the rim that I was using. Okay. Because this one was adding this like sharp rim bits to the metal and stuff. That was its purpose. If I do that, does it do what I need it to do? Yes. Now things are lit better. Start with their left, go with red now instead of blue. And here I actually don't think I'm going to mind a little bit of extra glow right at the whites. Because it actually kind of works, I think. Maybe if I dumped it down, maybe. No. I could maybe make it work, but I feel like it's not going to work that well. I want to get a little bit of the white at the top here, and a little on the side. And this is already maxed out. This one's radius, I'm going to put up just a teeny bit. We're going to go with 0.03, maybe? Just so that, because the other side has it too. And I am doing that whole eye wrong. Because it's modifying the other shots too. I did it wrong. Actually, wait. I can save time here. Cheat it. So I'm gonna see if it'll keep the camera there or it won't. Okay, so I'm back to blue. Okay, so we're back to blue. Fun thing is you can copy something, undo it back a ways, and then paste. I mean, you're like taking something from the future. Loopholes. I'm pretty sure that reset this light then. Oh no, I think it didn't. No, her eye's still dark. We're good. No, I'm only sticking with the one lens flare. There's another one that pops up down here, but I'm sticking with oops, I should actually do that, then I can see the lens flares. I might actually get rid of this one. She's evil. She's unleashing her hidden power, because this is the main one, and originally it was a lot smaller, but I felt that that added a lot to the shot if you have that there. I feel like she needs some kind of a light on her front side here, even if, like, because right now she just feels like she's blending into the background right here for a lot of it. I need some kind of a light that's going to separate her. Oh, let me finish the eyes first before I start getting distracted. Though I think rainbows might be done, at least for now. Moving, I actually can kind of, but I have to do some like weird modifications to remove the eyes. A lot of the other ones you can just alpha out, but you can't do that on eyes. They don't have an alpha function. Okay. The problem I've been having with the lights though is like, being that there's three drastically different positionings here, it's been a chore to figure out how to position them in such a way that every time I change angle, the lights still look right. For instance, the ones that have red in it are the ones that are that were harder. So that's why I have like phase 2, phase 3. So like for gold petals here, so this is the main light that's coming in here in the face. Then when it switches to here, it actually ended up that it still worked well as your backlight. But then when it swaps to this side, was this the only one? Oh, this one I dimmed it down because then otherwise it was like that, super bright. So I had to dim it down. But being able to do it in such a way that you don't notice that the light is dimming, that was interesting. This one is phase 3 because I needed to then supplement that extra rim on her side. So that's what that is. So then that's giving that nice little bright edges on her instead of having just a plain light. So there's just a lot of manipulation to get it to work. But I think like here, when I go to this shot, there should be a blue rim light of some sort on her. At least that's what I feel it should be. And I believe I have one of those. That's her highlight. The other problem with this shot too is that one's yellow, one's blue. They both take color very differently. Okay, so the light picks up at this point. So I'm going to move it so that it picks up at this point. This is blue, right? Yes. So I'm going to use it for when Rainbow gets to this side. So she starts entering this point. I'm trying to go ahead, so like I can, if I do this, I can actually make her eye bluer. So this will work, but I have to make sure that I know that she's going to be sliding into this light. So I have to stretch a little bit behind her. This is not including her wings at all, as it is. I'll probably have to add another one then for her wings here. This is rainbow, blue highlights. I'll keep it the format of the other one. So I've been using phases. This is phase 1, then phase 2, and then phase 3. So I knew at what part that light is being used. But then here, that light does not work at all. But now I can utilize it potentially as a rim for both of them. Because at this point, the light kind of disappears. So we're going to have it go here. There's too much green in this light. Oh, no, it's just because you're hitting a yellow person. See, that's why I said having some of this yellow, the blue light's going to be green on her, but it's going to be super blue on rainbow. So, if anything, I'm going to utilize this still then for rainbow. But I have to be careful I'm not hitting the ground. I was going to hit her face. I don't want her to hit her face. Did I cut off and cut on? No, it doesn't. You know what? I don't know if Rainbow actually needs one of those. Yeah, she's got the normal light. I think that it's petals that needs it. So I'm just gonna, but I can utilize the same light here too, potentially. So we're gonna move it here. Does that work? Yes. It kind of shines at our tail for a second, but that's fine. This is where I have to make it bluer. I'll dumb it down probably a little bit. This is gonna be tough because the blue light should be up higher. Probably a stronger rim. I just really don't want to hit the ground. That'd be fine. Let's leave it like that for now. So I'm gonna call this Rainbow / Golden because the technical covers both. Saving lights. Now it only does that. Doesn't really cover tail, but I haven't animated the tail yet, so I'll just be doing wasted work. Hey, Kachan. Could probably. I tried adding, I think, a light on her on the outside there, and I ran into issues. And I've gotten rid of it since then. Well, let me see if adding her eye lights will help. See, that looks pretty good. Just move it a little bit down and to the right. These eyelights get really, really picky with small motions. to where sometimes the only way to move it is you have to move it way off to the side and then slide it back, because if you try moving a little bit, it won't actually make the correct motion. Let's zoom in all the way. Wonderful. When I was doing the animating and stuff for this one, I didn't do a lot of the scene build until I had most of the main animating done, because I knew that it was going to start slowing it down so much. And I was right. But normally I didn't do that, any of the anime with the lights on. Oh, well, that actually works just as it is. Let's keep it like that. I'll probably bring up the brightness a little bit on this one. And like this one could, I mean, this is the light's coming in and technically hitting her from the sun, from that side. So I mean, this could technically be a red light or an orange kind of thing. But then I don't even know what color, because if I put red, it's gonna look weird. I think that's gonna look weird. Yeah, you'd have to like put the brightness up to like something like this to make it stand out enough. It's just that you're using a yellow light on a blue surface, so again, it's going to turn everything green. And there she just looks like freaking weird. Might just stick with the blue for now anyway. Hello. Hello, hello. Do I have to touch your eyes at all for this? I do not. I can just skip it. Probably gonna need to touch them here though. I think if I actually bring down the radius and just have a nice, really sharp, bright eye there, that should work really well. So I'm going to take the eye from this point forward. Actually not. I'm just going to take it from here until she shuts them next time. So say to here, then I don't have to worry about the next part. I'm going to take this radius and just remove it completely. And this is with her. I only care about her right eye. The other one, who cares? Because the eye's here right now. It needs to be there. Okay, that should work. Her eye isn't visible in the next bit. It is visible here though, so I will now just adjust the other eye. It's the left one to where it needs to be, which would be right here. And this one I'm going to probably do a nice strong yellow. She's supposed to look like Applejack to a degree. She's essentially supposed to be, in terms of coloration, Applejack with blue eyes. So I kind of did the colors myself, so the colors aren't exact. I thought about changing it to actually be Applejack's, but then I decided against it. It's like being the exact same colors would be... doesn't seem real, but being close to me seems like it'd be enough for confusion, and the fact that people are saying that they think that means that it's close enough. Okay, I need some butt clothing. Gonna find it that way. Yep, there we go. He'll should just wear that. I don't think I have any actual like pants. I'm trying to think if there's any model I have that would work for it though. There we go. Actually did a whole run through of pony props the other day. Okay, so there's all the XOM equipment. Do they have just helmets and stuff, or is it actually armor? Nope. Nobody makes shirts, nobody makes pants. Why does this have level of detail? The booties. I think with how that's separated that you might be able to just do pants, because you can kind of see a line there. It might be. No, there's no body groups, so maybe not, but we'll see. Hold on. Ha! I think it is. Well, even if it wasn't, there's another way to get rid of it. You can just go and say chest 1, scale. Bam. Oh, it gets rid of the butt too. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Oh, no, I do need the butt. So let's see if I can do it both ways. Okay, I have pants. Golden pants. This should work. It'll just take some positioning.
Nice pants.
I know it's just fashionable.
Is it gonna stay that color?
No. I just needed pants. I don't care what. I don't care what kind of pants.
Camo pants.
The armor can be fixed. I can probably actually enlarge it to fit over the clothing.
Do you even see the back two legs?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that shot. I forgot that shot.
Well, it's every shot you can see technically her butt.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure about her hoof area with the
stuff.
Armor. That's the word. I'm tired. Hello. I'm making pizza. Guess which pizza I'm making?
Macaroni.
Macaroni and cheese with bacon. Yay!
Not back. Yeah, look at that.
So you said that this pony's supposed to look like Applejack. So it was just like
not because of a story element, but because that's just, well, the story hinges on it, but she has no actual connection to.
Yeah. Surya just mentioned.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up before. We covered that.
I know, bad sister. Why does that screen look bigger? It's probably because it's up there.
Alright, so now I technically would want to play with the textures to better fit stuff, but I don't think that's possible. I'm trying to figure out how to map this thing out. Unless they mapped it out based on the original pony stuff, which they could have done.
Oh, she's got a tear in her butt.
I know, I can fix that later.
I know, I'm just laughing. She ripped her pants!
I could probably kind of do the burlap thing. Yeah, but I don't have that up anymore. There's a 4,000 by 4,000 one earlier. Ooh, that's a...
It's a 7.
For having the higher quality, it's kind of blurry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't always mean it's not blurry.
I know I had that 4,000 one. That one worked well.
Didn't save it?
It's applied to what I needed it to. This one actually has partial... No, I need it to be a stronger thing. I want it to be stronger so that I can reduce it. I don't really care about the color, I just care about the texture. 1,000 by 1,000 might still work.
Go down for a sec.
It is.
No, I mean down here. I thought I saw one that was pretty... It's kind of small though.
No, it's big, but it's zoomed in. I'm looking for something that's really tiny.
Yeah.
That's got stock on it. Yeah, I'll just grab one of these.
Grab the one with the lace. Lace.
No, because it doesn't work.
I'm being a jerk. My sister, I have to be a jerk.
Oh, this is this one.
You can always increase the level. Excuse me. I just like how the pants are camp.
I don't want to use these for actual as an actual texture. I want to use it as a bump map. It's confusing to do that. Can I just go like... it still does the line.
Yep.
Let's do it the way I did it before. Actually, you know what? No, that's actually pretty high contrast. It'd be noticeable.
What?
If I left it as it was.
Mm.
Then you just overlay this so that it matches up as closely as possible to some of the background stuff. Right there. Okay. Merge layers. Do the same thing with this one. Just move to the side. That's going to make that tough. Oh, I actually created another duplicate by accident. That's probably fine. Oh, wait, no. They're extra big. Never mind. Alright. And I actually did that partially wrong, but I'm just going to leave that one because it actually looks pretty good. The horizontal, actually, this looks pretty good in general.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it. Fuck it.
Yep, I think you're fine.
Oops. Might be too much detail loss if I do that. If anything, I'm going to decrease the contrast. So like that. Alright.
You know what, dude.
Okay. Now I'm going to take this before I made it black and white. I'm going to essentially keep it kind of. I'm just going to take a color that's here and wash it over the whole thing. Do this one. I will do it like that.
Yay, it's wash.
I'm just going to do like I was going to originally do it. We're going to do normal. We'll just do 75. Because I want to have a little bit of the texture, but I want to have the bump map be the main thing for it. This probably needs to be a little darker though, because I think otherwise it's going to look weird. We'll do like that. Just see how that turns out.
Might make her butt look big.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I was trying to create barding with that, or turn a barding into dirty rags using alpha. Oh, I did the wrong one there. Because I was looking, I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, I just saved over back, didn't I? Whatever.
What?
Nothing.
Don't you just love Adobe programs when they say not responding? They're actually thinking.
This isn't Adobe.
It's not?
No.
Oh, that's edit. I was looking at the Photoshop part.
It's just making a bump map from a 2000 by 2000 texture. Ugh, that might be a little strong.
Really?
Yeah, probably. Whatever. I'll just give it a shot. But it
I
might.
guess I'm used to contrast.
I don't want contrast. I want it to create slight texture, but that's it. Her hood's the same way. It's a very immensely minor one, but it just gives it extra definition.
Apparently the child in the hallway does not agree with you. Must be Jay's in the hallway again.
Normally when I do streams on off days, there's not as many people, so it's a little quieter. Not a bad thing, though.
Got 4 people.
11.
Four talking people.
I don't know if bump maps matter. But I'm not going to bother with it.
Ooh, I like those pants.
They're horrendous.
I know. That's why I said it like.
Let's see how it is with the lighting. I think I might need to go with some
More red.
yeah, redder. Don't know until you throw it on though.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll have to decrease the font. It's definitely making it a little shiny. Okay, so they cleared that up. As I thought, it was definitely way too strong of a bump map. I'm gonna fix that. Besides that, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a matter of color. I like how the shading goes around some of those edges though. And it's just going to be also positioning to make it so that everything works from all angles. Because when you start manipulating bone structure, usually outfits just completely break down. I don't like doing something like that if I don't need to, and I actually considered just retexturing the body to make it work, but I felt that that would be pretty obvious that it was done that way and not have the greatest of results. But like you can see on the hoodie, I added a bump map, but it was a very, very minor one. I originally tried to do something similar with the burlap, and that is a burlap on there actually. But no matter the way the texture was done, is it super stretched it at certain angles, so it didn't work. Instead, I just kept it immensely small in terms of how strong it was. So instead of creating a burlap look, it just created kind of like small little ruffles in fabric. So I kind of liked it like that. Okay, yeah, that's more along the lines of what I was looking for. I want to see if... Okay, so the foot here for the golden pants controls... Oh, yeah, that's what I'm also going to have to do. So these two are going to have to be shrunk down, because technically they're creating a shadow for something that doesn't exist. Same thing on the front of the body here. So I'm going to take chest 2. No, actually, oh, actually everything after this doesn't need to be locked. So that, there's no head. So that. Those don't have to be locked. So then I can take this, add scale, zero that out, gets rid of those. And then there's potentially some that could be having issues in the middle here. But I can scale that however it works. Though technically I think I'm going to actually drag these further forward so that it better connects. And what I can do too is I'm working it from this angle, but I could animate it so that it actually works better from a different angle. I'm going to change that color though, so we're going to add some red to it. So kind of like this maybe. And that's actual red. I don't want red. I want a little darker and a little browner. Maybe like that. I don't want it to be the exact same color, but I want it kind of be in the same hue range. I've saved over things so many times in the area that I always hit save and hold and like, is this really what I want to do? That is rather no kill chan. Gonna hide from Pink Pony. I forgot I never actually finished that. I might go and just make that a super short thing, because that's what I want to kind of do after the conventions. Is do some really short, stupid stuff for a while. So, you know, that's a better color scheme for it. Okay. that shall work. Technically, these pants are like, they're not just floating over armor, they're floating over like the whole leg. So if I get rid of that armor, I just don't think I'm going to be able to actually get that to work under the armor. Okay, she doesn't actually move. Oh no, she does move this leg. Is it like that for any position she's in terms of how it's forward like that? Oh, actually, this might be easier than I thought. Yes, okay, so it's fully textured all the way through, meaning that I can actually really mess with this. But if I shrink it, it's going to shrink also at the top, and I'm thinking that that's not going to work. Don't know until you try. So I wish that it was connected to the foot, because that would make that a lot easier. The other option is I could just do that. I don't know if I do it to that bone. Actually, I wonder if I just partially do that. Can I? No, it's going to do the whole thing. The other option is to scale this all the way down. And if I scaled this all the way down too. Oh yeah. The armor is animated because it doesn't work from all angles. No, that doesn't work. I did find it out. I had an error I ran into where I had made some scales for jiggle bones, then disabled the bone or like enabled the procedural bones and then re-locked them, and it scaled all the bones to the jiggles, but I couldn't modify the scales. They were like locked. And I found the way to fix it was I had to go in here. It was bones, and then you actually find that specific bone. So, like in this case, left foot. And this, so that it actually has the scale in here. I had to right-click, remove attribute. It deleted it, but it didn't remove it from here. And then I just went and re-went to the bone and added again. And then it like took a second, and it like overwrote it, and it fixed the error. So if you ever have a scale that's not scaling, and because you can't actually get rid of it here. You can go into your bones here, into the specific ones, go to your actual scale attribute and delete it, and then re-add it. I wish there was an easy, like a way to just right-click this and say, delete attribute. Alas, they gotta make it hard. I think it's more of why bog it down with something that's not going to be used very often. See, without the foot being locked here, that's the other thing I would be worried about. Is okay, so actually her feet are not visible until this shot. But see, you can see how this foot, because of how I stretch it, suddenly just like comes out of the clothing, and because it's not attached to the foot, that becomes an issue then. So it looks fine right here, but getting it to work from here to here might be tougher. Well, you have one way to do it. it doesn't work for all angles. Just that one. There's a shot where she disappears. Technically right here. And I only care about what it's looking like at this one angle. So I can modify this to any way I want as long as it looks okay on camera. I don't mind it stretch a little bit. And if anything, I can actually just remove the back armor. I don't know if it has both legs set up for that. No. See how that looks. The armor is attached to that and the foot. And actually, I'd rather have her not have pants on, but technically, it's the only way I'm pretty sure she had to have, because if she was trying to pretend to be a male for a while, it's really hard to do that if you aren't wearing pants. Okay, so I'm going to fix this part on her back here. So I think it's locked to chest one, because right now you can actually see it clipping up through here, it's right here. So I want to have this point brought in quicker. That's fine. All right. Oh yeah, hey my creep. I am doing well. How are you? Let's just kind of reset points here. So. That light looks fine there, so I'm going to take everything from here on. I'm not equipping any more there. Ah, sweet. Burning Game's been pretty cool, especially once they release the schedule. It's really tough right now because you don't know what's going to be what and when. Yeah, there's one a year, but they moved it around. Usually it's in August, but last year it's in July. So compared from 2015 to 2016 was only 11 months because they moved it back a month. But then this year, since they moved back to August, it's 13 months since the previous one. Okay, so it's all her armor, then not clip. Her belly shows a little right here. That's a general thing, so we're just gonna bring chest one down, turn it out a little bit, and bring it down again. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Look okay at this angle. The belly is showing again. Is there... Can I stretch the armor to fit that gap? Because there's that thing there, but I think that since this is tied to chest one, this is going to be tied to chest one as well. So I don't think that that's going to work. It was right there. Yeah. Which means that I cannot fill that gap. Well, wait. Kind of. I can. Just at least for this shot. Have the belt kind of get stuck in there. Okay, well, let's see if I can do the same on this side, because you can't really see her anything on that side. So that means that just take from here to here. Actually, we'll just take this is for that. I'm kind of hoping GronyCon takes a little while to get there because I still have this to finish. Okay, that works. That's her tail behind her, so she's fine in that regard. I feel like I might need to add at least some kind of underlight here. I believe I have one, but there's just nowhere near people, apparently. I don't know. Is this even doing anything? So it is causing a little bit of light, but nothing that... Yeah, it's barely noticeable. I was giving her ambience, though. Not really needed, though. Okay, so let's use this one. Camera's looking that way, so this light should be over here then. Oops, I don't want to rotate that much. Okay, we'll do that. That actually works for that too, so okay. So I don't want to actually have it be... Actually, does it work that bright? I don't think so, because... I actually think it does, but I think I'm going to dim it down so I at least get a little bit of shadows on the underneath of the heads. Oops. But it'll help balance out the shadows a bit. Alright, so does it work better here? Yes. Okay. How about here? Yeah, that helped there too. And here. Here I might... Yeah, here I'm actually going to back it off a little bit. There's a lot of other lights going on. This is a animation regarding a fanfic called Australia. Title is of the books right here. If you can read it, I guess. No, that's actually the wrong spelling. Swap the A and the E. I have that spelling wrong on a couple different things. Okay. I'm going on light for now. Now she's got pants. Oh, she's got a hole in her pants. Just gotta fix her leg there. Because it definitely is visible. Butt showing too. Okay. There. And I made it to close to hide the fact that it does that. You can still see your butt a little bit right there. That's when it's changing its scale. That's right thigh. So we'll just delay the scaling. Yep, I fixed it. Yeah, that's the one. It's 200 chapters, but they're short chapters. But that's only that book. There's gonna be 12 books total, and they're on book 9. So I think book 9. I can't never remember. Yeah, because that's probably why we have chapters. These on forward chapters. So yeah, book 9, and one of them is almost 300 chapters. But definitely worth the read. Clip him a little bit because the butt got big. Okay, I kind of want to fix her element here. I haven't done it other shot yet either, but like here, is she wearing it even? Because I can't even see it. Yeah, she's pretty sure she is. As long as it's visible, I don't care if it's on there that great, because it's just going to zoom right by anyway. that's how it works. I forgot. Okay, there we go. Okay. Keep forgetting how you do the auto create fall off thing. Clip a little there, that's fine. Yeah, he isn't open. Nope. Alright, do I want to have her element glow anymore here? I think not. I kind of like the way that it glows in a lot of these shots now. It really stands out. I haven't had a shot yet that I didn't like how it looked because of it. So I think for some of the lighting, I'm just going to have to wait till render to see what worked and what didn't, and what's missing, because it just runs way too slow. But like, her back main probably like here would be lifting up here. I can't control the secondary of the main yet, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put it in its position right now. So this is, with her position, this would be hanging low and turned off her back. Do it there. I found Pony's first off mean base, so it's gotta say way. I found the stupidest things possible, and then I'm like, what is this show about? Okay, her ears are part of Jiggles, so I will wait on that. Yeah, I kind of want to just, oh, there it goes. Oh, it's the white dot was in her eye. I thought her eye was all derped. It was like dirt. Yeah, I kind of want to render this before I try to make a determination as to how to proceed with it. I've got most of the stuff done, so that should be only one render would be needed as long as I hit the right buttons this time. Because like she's not really animated here at all, so I kind of feel like I need to do something. Her tail's not really moving, but I want to see like some of that lighting and stuff before I get too involved with that. Oh, I forgot your wings turned off. Here, have your wing again. Congratulations, you birthed the wing. I might add more creatures, but again, I'm gonna wait till render. So this shot, at least for now, I'm gonna call okay. So I'm going to start cleaning up this one. This one's basically animated, so it's just getting down the cleanup. I think I've got everything done on this one, even tail position. Nope, I don't. want to get down the main positions for stuff. And then I'm going to worry about the rest. And then like here, her tail should start going up a bit. The more motion I add to the hair now, the better automation it will make. So I want to try to put some time into getting some of these done right. Is an ass to try to deal with. It's like it's only on the one side. I really wish that the pony manes had the ability to swap sides. I think I'll just leave it like that. Okay. I know that there was some stuff done to actually make that work, but I never heard anything from it. I tried originally doing it myself to have it so like it was a body group, so that you could just swap from one main to another, which is the body group, say left main, right main, which would be great because depending on the shot, you might want to have it be showing on one side, not the other. But alas, it never came to be, and when I tried doing it, I didn't know enough about it, and it ended up being a mess, and that just requires recompiling models again, and most people are kind of sick of that, I think. I know I am. Okay, that should look pretty good. I was waiting for this to be all broken. So these I do not want to get all. Bam. These I need to fix the errors for. That's an error of some sort, but I can't tell what. Usually the errors are just 2 frames. 1, 2. That's a 3-framer. This is usually when hair does a 180. So you can see, like, that's what that did here. See, surround it out. Goes back to normal. Usually happens with very drastic motion. So like this has some pretty sharp edges, but it's not broken, it's just doing its thing. Alright, that I don't think is how tail's supposed to bend. That's more like it. Alright. Where is tail again? I want to make sure whether or not some of this is actually broken or not. So that seems legit. Is that legit? No. Nothing. It's fine. There's 2 broken ones. So if I didn't lock this stuff, these could have popped up randomly. You never know. So man, you got right here. Where's this? That one's fine. I think all these are gonna be fine for it. It's on the other side anyway. Oh, that was broken. Yeah, you can't see it. I'm not gonna care. Ear tips, I normally don't care enough about. Now to ensure that everything's moving correctly during certain parts. So like her tail here has this jerk right here, and that doesn't make any sense when you're trying to go slow. And then here I can add some extra bits to the motion. For one, I want to actually make sure that goes underneath the leg. Jiggles do a pretty good job, but this is probably between 1 and 2, I believe. Yeah. But still, you have to go through and clean them up if you want to get the actual good motion. So like here, this should probably still be pretty curved. And then this should actually be, I'm going to say, I'm going to grab tail 3 with this. We're going to put this out. And then have it be, yeah, that they kind of curve with the motion here. Okay, this bone is broken. From here throughout. Oh yeah, I can't run like that. We'll just do in. It's not gonna matter. She's supposed to have everything kind of stop here, so I want to make sure that none of the jiggles are moving at this point. At least not a lot. There's no middle bone there. Clipping the foot, don't want that. That's probably good enough. I don't care if it's too realistic, it's not going to be noticeable. It's like okay. Now to do her hair. So hair 2 is going to be her back mane. I don't want that. So I just want the hair on her head. And most of this should be pretty good. Except for right like here, I would probably want to have this be more up. And then like here, She's technically upside down. Probably want to have it that up to this point, this actually starts coming back a little bit. So then I can, at this point, pull it back again. And this is a little delayed. The hair at that point more, so we're going to speed this up and then grab this part and then drag that out. Okay, and it breaks right here. Oh, well, not really. Now to do her element. Okay, so it looks fine at this angle, so I'm gonna just position everything before it based on that spot right here. Cameras, because this positioning is like invert it a bit. There we go. It's like disconnected from her for a while. I probably changed something in the bone around this point and then just never fixed it. Like I mentioned, doesn't matter if what it looks like on the other side, it can clip all at once. So I think that should be good. I don't break it. I hope I don't break that part of her. This is really messy. And like from this angle, I thought that looked a little high. Okay. So that part's cleaned up. I did want to... I don't need any of these anymore because these technically are reused for as bases, but I don't need any more. That should actually just help everything run better here. Is there anything I don't need in this shot anymore? In terms of lamps, there's the one. I think I got rid of everything on that one that wasn't needed. Yeah, that was what it was. Even then, is it even visible? I could get rid of the lamp and no one tell the difference. Alright, I'm gonna. The keyframes on a keep, they don't really take up much space anyway. Building 1, 2, and wall. Yeah, that makes sense. Building blocker. I don't even know if I need these anymore. I don't think they're doing anything. They had a reason. But then I changed everything and it just doesn't matter anymore. So the only other thing I really think I need to do here is I need to give them a little bit more life here. If I remember right, they stopped short. they need more motion is what it was. I have to like that. Work. Figure out the frame that she put. That's the frame she would touch them. So it's from this frame on that I need to modify to some degree. So I'm gonna do like this maybe. Because this slowdown stops right here, so I only have like 3 frames to play with. That's the other thing too. The wings imply that they should be going upwards, and then I try to utilize them going upwards for the effect. I'm going to modify them a little bit here too. that feels a little better. This feeling that again, they're just way too quick. But I thought the same before, and motion blur actually kind of fills it in. It clips the wall there, but it's behind rainbows, so you don't even really notice it. I don't know, I'm just using them. They're from Dota, so it's the closest thing I could find. Okay. That should be good on their part. Is there anything I still needed to do in this shot besides just render and see how it looks? Because if I can basically call this shot done, it means that if I render it, if there's anything I need to fix, it should only be one time fix, and then I'm done with that too. Chaos Monsters. I'm actually kind of disappointed we haven't seen them in a while. I mean, it's also... It's nice that there's things constantly changing, but it feels like something that was brought up a bunch and then disappeared. It would be, I mean, for where she is now, that would make sense that there would potentially be more things like that, but we'll see. One thing I've always enjoyed with the story is that things do constantly change and never get stale. Oh, for years. That's what I never did. Wow, your ears are broken as shit. I kind of actually like them backwards like that, but that's not how it should be. So I am just going to do this all fresh. Not one. In. So when she comes flying around this corner, her ears should technically be pushed forward, and I'm going to do that. Like this, like this. So I'm not going to care as much about this. I want to make sure you can see them fold backwards at the beginning. Too quick, so I will stretch that out to there. Some of these I'm not going to care too much about because I can't see them. So the impact would push your ears down a little bit. Too much. Same thing as before. I want to have the ears pull forwards towards the end so that I can pull them back quick just before doing this. Like she's gonna sneeze or something. And some of these motions are not fitting for physical motion, like it doesn't even make any sense, but I'm also dealing with kind of like doing the 3D version of smear frames. These ones, I think I want to keep her ears aimed a little bit forward. Just gonna look awkward if I do it too much. Actually, it looks awkward if I don't. Her other ear's not visible, it's not gonna care. And these are gonna be done as well. Gotta like autosave there or something. That might be too much. Nope, it did help it. This whole thing is too quick, but what do you do? Once it's with the beat, it works. Yeah, with the music, that's how this turned out. So, I think for the most part, this one I can consider done. So I just have to do a render on this to see how this looks. Otherwise, I have about a week to finish this and do some refinement stuff. But this one's already kind of half done. I just gotta animate him a bit more and then do add some dragons for him to punch in the face. So now I have to actually render this tonight, but I have to render this tonight and then tomorrow morning potentially start a final render for something else. So it's going to be a little bit of a planning stuff because I have this is the week I have to start doing final renders. So if there's any problem with renders, then I run into issues. But all right, getting there though. I'm hoping that this pause at this part still blends with this. I think so, because this is still moving just before the end. Whatever. So, but it is close enough to 9 that, and because I have to do the render now, I'm going to call the stream here and stuff. So, I know some people came later. I don't know if you noticed. I think my mic is clear now. I played around with some settings and got it to remove, I think, what is all the background noise. So it should be cleaner to where I can turn my mic up more if people need, without bogging it down with background audio. So, but I'll play more with that later. So yeah, I will be streaming again tomorrow, normal time, 6 to 9 again. In terms of, it probably sounds about the same, but if I were to shut off music, I should be clear, like there should be nothing running in the background in terms of audio. It should be just about me only, without sounding like metallic or echoey, which is what usually happens if you take out too much noise. But all right, and put on a kitty. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna close this so I don't do anything on it. Oh yeah, I might want to put a light in her eye. Now that I think about it. But I can do that after a render, just to test. Mainly because if I'm going to do it for the next shots, that's going to be difficult. Well, actually, you know what? Not really. I don't think I remove her eye very much. Nah, it'll be fine. I'll check it out later. So, alright. I'll see you guys later. Or tomorrow, maybe.